Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Public Speaking Masterclass with Dr. Oludayo. Please let me know if you're here and you can hear me. In the chat, let's have you share a word of greeting and welcome. If you're here, please just share a word of greeting and welcome in the chat. My name is Muiwa. I'm joining you from Lagos. Where are you joining from? Let's know where you're joining us from today. Hello, let's know where you're joining us from. Good evening. Aura is joining from Lagos. Favor is joining from Lagos. Anna, you're Lagos. Mary Jane, good to see you. Oh, Vanessa joining from Jos. Olushola Amu from Lagos. Looks like it's a Lagos thing. Why didn't we have a physical meeting then? Lagos people. Okay. Oreoluwani. There's another Oredola here. There's Oreoluwani joining from Lagos. Only one out of Lagos from Jos. Honestly, from WhatsApp. Blessing, thank you, joining from Abuja. 3 of you have confirmed that we don't need to do a Lagos thing. Ramat, thank you for joining from Lagos. Let's meet you. How has your day been? How's the month been? It's the second half of the year, and it's the second half of the month already, and it's looking like a good one already. Okay? All right. Welcome, everyone, and it's a great privilege to host you today on this day. I am excited that you've joined. I'm excited that you have made this event a priority for your growth. I'm hoping that you'll be able to, make the most of your to equip you with information, tools, approaches, and strategies on how in your public speaking endeavors. And I'm hoping that you would cooperate with me. Let me ask you as we start tonight to have you get your writing material. There will be some practical sessions. You will have to do a bit of writing, just a bit of writing. And for those of you that are tech savvy, you possibly will have to do a bit of typing and writing. Okay. And then we may have a few of you also speak to us to validate some of the things that we're sharing today. And so let me have you prepare. Go ahead now, get your writing material. Get your writing material. Thank you, Jennifer Chidera from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Ramat, thank you. Get your writing material. And if you have, I'd like you to confirm. I'd like you to confirm that you are ready. Participate. Let's see it in the chat. Are you ready? Okay, looks like people are still going to get their writing materials or devices. Wait. Nobody is talking to me. Do you have your writing materials here, or you can't hear me at all?
Yes, we do.
Yo, you do have your writing materials. Okay, thank you. Thank you. The room is getting fuller. The room is getting fuller. Ready to roll, Tony. Thank you. Mary Jane, thank you. Right. All right, let me acknowledge my colleagues on the call, Dolakbo, Ibikunle, and Oredola Kayode. You possibly see me speaking all of the time, but these guys are the ones that power me from behind. I want to specially recognize them and to thank them for the support they will provide today. Let me also specially acknowledge my sister and friend who really pushed me to do this one this time around. We had done a public speaking masterclass last year. I'd done one, and I want to do another one this year. In fact, I was going to direct people to the resource that I've put to me. You need to do another for us. And the moment she pushed me, and there are people that, nudge you and you respond almost immediately. Bumi, so here is the fruit of that 1 or 2 seconds conversation that we have. Here we are. I'm sure you are glad that I followed the nudge, and here I am doing the desired.
Woo-hoo. Thank you, Doc.
Someone is saying I'm far from the mic. Does it sound like my voice is very far away? I need your feedback all of the time on this.
I guess it's perfect.
Is my voice very far away? Does it sound like it's perfect? Okay. All right. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. All right. So let's shoot. We cannot wait any further. We've waited about 11 minutes and we've started to engage. Let me thank all of you who have joined. A number of you here are meeting me for the very first time. I believe a good number are meeting me for the very first time. My name is Oludayo. I'm the principal consultant at Nathan Lidgate. You will hear about Nathan Lidgate at the tail end of this conversation. I'm also a research fellow with the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. I am also the convener of the workplace conversations. We normally have what we call the workplace conversations. It's a product of the workplace survey entity, which is a part of Nathan Lidgate Consulting Company. I wear many caps. I'm also the convener of the personal transformation seminars. You will also see a little bit about that towards the tail end of the meeting. And I'm very privileged to be hosting this today. The history of doing public speaking classes dates back to when I was really a broke person. Many years ago, 2007, 2008, I was really broke. And I'm going to say that here because I was almost trying to solve the commercial side of public speaking in this one same seminar today, but I had to call it short to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that one. It's going to be too much for you to bear. But I will talk about that also later in the conversation. So this started about 2007, 2008. Sometimes you get feedback from people saying, oh, I like the way you presented this. I like the way you engaged. I like the way you did this. And it seemed to me like, okay, that's okay. Thank you for the feedback. But it never really occurred to me that I could teach it or share my principles or share my approaches and strategies with people until I became broke. And when I mean broke, I mean financially broke. And then I was working then at Covenant University. I was a lecturer at Covenant University at the time. So I went straight to the Center for Entrepreneurial Development Studies. That center was responsible for coordinating skills. It was like a skills acquisition center for the undergraduate and postgraduate students of the university. And so I went to the Center for Entrepreneurial Development Studies of Covenant University, and I approached the then director. I still remember his name very well, Dr. C.A.S.K.E then. I approached him and I said to him, Doc, I am broke and I need to be able to do something in this center. And then he said, what can you do? I said, I don't know how to raise grass cutter, because that was what one of the things they were doing. I don't know how to train people on tie and dye. I don't know how to print or show people how to print. I don't know how to make Zobo or whatever. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make paint. And I said, what can you do? I said, people have told me I can speak. So I'm hoping that I can teach people how to speak. And it was like a very strange call. How do you have a Center for Entrepreneurial Development Studies, and then one of the vocations there is public speaking? It seemed to be out of the curve. But he took a chance on me, and that's one of the lives I've lived. One of the many beautiful things about my life. Many people have taken a chance on me. So Dr. C.A.S.K.E then took a chance on me and said, you know what, go start the public speaking class at Covenant University Center for Entrepreneurial Development Studies, and let's see how it goes. And I ran that class for 10 years. I ran that class for 10 years. And every semester where students had to subscribe for that class, we were always oversubscribed. we were always oversubscribed. Sometimes we had 200 students, sometimes 400 students in a semester. And it was really overwhelming. But today I'm glad that I took that challenge. I'm glad that Dr. Ezika Bimbola gave me that opportunity. I'm not sure, but can I confirm if there's anybody on this call who was in any of my classes during those days at Covenant University, can you just please put a comment in the chat? I was in one of your classes in Covenant. I see Amarachi here. Amarachi, is that you truly, or is it a placeholder? So if you were in one of those classes, I just need you to validate what I've just said, that I'm not lying to the world, okay? Okay, I mean, who are those? Yes, Oredola, you were in my class. True. Amarachi were also in my class. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Just to validate that. Today I've come a long way. I've gone beyond just teaching it in classes. I've now started to teach public speaking for professionals. And I'm grateful to God for the privilege to do that. Today, my intention is to make you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to make you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe the first thing I want to show you today, I'm going to show you the video of 2 American presidents. They had to deliver a speech on a very similar situation. Please listen. I'll appeal to you to take notes of your findings, of your concerns, of the things that resonate with you. I'd like you to please take note of them, and let's see what happens. The first speech is by Mr. Barack Obama. Let me see if I can play it here.
Good evening. Tonight,
please confirm you heard that voice where he said good evening. Please confirm you heard that voice. Did you hear it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Yes.
I'll go back and start again. Again, please listen to every beat, watch his body language, what everything. I'm going to reference this across the conversation tonight.
But we're not seeing the video. Are we just...
You're not seeing the video at all?
No.
Is anybody not seeing the video?
No, I can see the video. I can see the video.
Too.
Oh, so if you're not seeing the video, please check your phone and you move your slide one side or the other. You will sure see it. Okay. All right, so let's start again. Let's listen to Mr. Obama make this speech.
good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. It was nearly 10 years ago that a bright September day was darkened by the worst attack on the American people in our history. The images of 9/11 are seared into our national memory. Hijacked planes cutting through a cloudless September sky, the Twin Towers collapsing to the ground, black smoke billowing up from the Pentagon, the wreckage of Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the actions of heroic citizens saved even more heartbreak and destruction. And yet we know that the worst images are those that were unseen to the world. The empty seat at the dinner table, children who were forced to grow up without their mother or their father, parents who would never know the feeling of their child's embrace, nearly 3,000 citizens taken from us, leaving a gaping hole in our hearts. On September 11th, 2001, in our time of grief, the American people came together. We offered our neighbors a hand, and we offered the wounded our blood. We reaffirmed our ties to each other and our love of community and country. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family. We were also united in our resolve to protect our nation and to bring those who committed this vicious attack to justice. We quickly learned that the 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda, an organization headed by Osama bin Laden, which had openly declared war on the United States and was committed to killing innocents in our country and around the globe. And so we went to war against Al-Qaeda to protect our citizens, our friends, and our allies. Over the last 10 years, thanks to the tireless and heroic work of our military and our counterterrorism professionals, we've made great strides in that effort. We've disrupted terrorist attacks and strengthened our homeland defense. In Afghanistan, we removed the Taliban government, which had given bin Laden and Al-Qaeda safe haven and support. And around the globe, we worked with our friends and allies to capture or kill scores of Al-Qaeda terrorists, including several who were a part of the 9/11 plot. Yet, Osama bin Laden avoided capture and escaped across the Afghan border into Pakistan. Meanwhile, Al-Qaeda continued to operate from along that border and operate through its affiliates across the world. And so shortly after taking office, I directed Leon Panetta, the director of the CIA, to make the killing or capture of bin Laden the top priority of our war against Al-Qaeda, even as we continued our broader efforts to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat his network. Then, last August, after years of painstaking work by our intelligence community, I was briefed on a possible lead to bin Laden. It was far from certain, and it took many months to run this thread to ground. I met repeatedly with my national security team as we developed more information about the possibility that we had located bin Laden hiding within a compound deep inside Pakistan. And finally, last week, I determined that we had enough intelligence to take action and authorized an operation to get Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body. For over 2 decades, bin Laden has been Al-Qaeda's leader and symbol, and has continued to plot attacks against our country and our friends and allies. The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat Al-Qaeda. Yet his death does not mark the end of our effort. There's no doubt that Al-Qaeda will continue to pursue attacks against us. We must, and we will, remain vigilant at home and abroad. As we do, we must also reaffirm that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam. I have made clear, just as President Bush did shortly after 9/11, that our war is not against Islam, because bin Laden was not a Muslim leader. He was a mass murderer of Muslims. Indeed, Al-Qaeda has slaughtered scores of Muslims in many countries, including our own. So his demise should be welcomed by all who believe in peace and human dignity. Over the years, I've repeatedly made clear that we would take action within Pakistan if we knew where bin Laden was. That is what we've done. But it's important to note that our counterterrorism cooperation with Pakistan helped lead us to bin Laden and the compound where he was hiding. Indeed, bin Laden had declared war against Pakistan as well and ordered attacks against the Pakistani people. Tonight, I called President Zardari, and my team has also spoken with their Pakistani counterparts. They agree that this is a good and historic day for both of our nations. And going forward, it is essential that Pakistan continue to join us in the fight against Al-Qaeda and its affiliates. The American people did not choose this fight. It came to our shores and started with the senseless slaughter of our citizens. After nearly 10 years of service, struggle, and sacrifice, we know well the costs of war. These efforts weigh on me every time I, as Commander-in-Chief, have to sign a letter to a family that has lost a loved one, or look into the eyes of a service member who's been gravely wounded. So Americans understand the costs of war. Yet, as a country, we will never tolerate our security being threatened nor stand idly by when our people have been killed. We will be relentless in defense of our citizens and our friends and allies. We will be true to the values that make us who we are. And on nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to Al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done. Tonight, we give thanks to the countless intelligence and counterterrorism professionals who've worked tirelessly to achieve this outcome. The American people do not see their work nor know their names, but tonight they feel the satisfaction of their work and the result of their pursuit of justice. We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation, for they exemplify the professionalism, patriotism, and unparalleled courage of those who serve our country. And they are part of a generation that has borne the heaviest share of the burden since that September day. Finally, let me say to the families who lost loved ones on 9/11 that we have never forgotten your loss, nor wavered in our commitment to see that we do whatever it takes to prevent another attack on our shores. And tonight, let us think back to the sense of unity that prevailed on 9/11. I know that it has at times frayed, yet today's achievement is a testament to the greatness of our country and the determination of the American people. The cause of securing our country is not complete, but tonight we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind to. That is the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
Wow. Okay. You listen to that. How did it sound to you? I mean, I will want to just take a few comments from the room. Some of you are possibly saying, I wish I could speak like this man. And that's why I started to bring this first to you. Many of the principles we're going to share today and many of the strategies we're going to share today, I'm going to have you remember this speech. And every time we say it, I'd like you to see and signpost it with what you have seen. Okay? So let me hear in the chat. I think people are speaking in the chat. Smooth, but you know he's reading from a prompter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he was reading from a prompter. The idea is that some people are, I mean, do you want me to show you a Nigerian leader that read from a prompter and was terrible? Do you want me to show you? It was very terrible. But let's hear what other people are saying. Okay? A long note here from Oludayo. Obama's speech was clear and impactful as he effectively leveraged the power of storytelling. I like that, storytelling, to convey his message. He invoked empathy, helped the audience to connect emotionally with the events of September 11th, seamlessly tying it to the announcement of the terrorist death. He also emphasized the importance of unity, regardless of religious preferences, reinforcing a message of national solidarity and shared purpose. I think I need to take your number, Oludayo. I need to take your number. That's a good one. Very smooth, very smooth. I love the rhythm. The speech keeps you glued to your screen. Now, thank you, everyone. Now, I wanted to listen to a second speech, the second American president. And I'm sure you can guess who you're about to listen to. Can you guess who you're about to listen to? Well, Trump.
Trump, of course.
Okay, okay. Now, President Donald Trump also announced the capture and the killing of another terrorist. But let's see how he delivered his own speech. The same thing, CJ, he was also reading from a prompter. And let's go. Mr. Trump, please speak to us. Mr. Trump, don't you want to speak? You should speak to us. Let me get him to speak to you. Just hold on. All right, then. I'm going to share now. Just take this view for me for now, for just already. Please confirm you can see the screen now. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so let's go.
Last night, the United States brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. The United States has been searching for Baghdadi for many years. Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid in northwestern Syria and accomplished their mission in grand style. The U.S. personnel were incredible. I got to watch much of it. No personnel were lost in the operation, while a large number of Baghdadi's fighters and companions were killed with him. He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed. 11 young children were moved out of the house and are uninjured. The only ones remaining were Baghdadi in the tunnel, and he had dragged 3 of his young children with him. They were led to certain death. He reached the end of the tunnel as our dogs chased him down. He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children. His body was mutilated by the blast. The tunnel had caved in on it in addition. But test results gave certain, immediate, and totally positive identification. The thug who tried so hard to intimidate others spent his last moments in utter fear, in total panic and dread, terrified of the American forces bearing down on him. We were in the compound for approximately 2 hours, and after the mission was accomplished, we took highly sensitive material and information from the raid, much having to do with ISIS, origins, future plans, things that we very much want. Baghdadi's demise demonstrates America's relentless pursuit of terrorist leaders and our commitment to the enduring and total defeat of ISIS and other terrorist organizations.
Okay, now you heard him. Now you've heard the 2 of them. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I like to hear you, and I don't mind at this point having some of you raise your hand. I'm going to give you, just take about 7 minutes to talk about this. I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are on this. Okay, anybody, please. You can raise your hand. I'm going to give you an opportunity. I want to have you speak. You are in a public speaking class, so speaking is good. You want to say something, please raise your hand. You need to speak. You are in a public speaking class. Let's try to hear you. Is anybody there? Or you all want to just type in? All right, Shola, let's go. Shola, let's go. Shola, let's hear you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I felt his speech was overloaded with unnecessary information. Whoever wrote that speech should be fired, really. In terms of his delivery, it wasn't really properly delivered. It was too much information that wasn't required. If I'm a member of, I can't remember the person's name that was killed. If I was a member of the family hearing about how the kids died, it wasn't empathetic. I didn't think that should have come out from the mouth of a normal leader, not to talk of a president. And there was some form of pride and arrogance with the way he spoke as well. That's my own feedback.
Okay, thank you. Bumi, let's hear you. Thank you very much, Shola. Bumi, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Well, I felt in comparison to Obama's speech, Obama was more diplomatic. You see, he was just, Obama's speech was just like, for lack of words, like butter. It was just so smooth. You know, he made a terrible situation look so, you know, it's a terrible situation. They went into combat. A lot of things happened, but, you know, there was how the words were just polished. You know, it was easy on the ears. So he was more diplomatic. However, Trump was more direct, more blunt. He was raw, you know, giving details that, just like she said, were not necessary. So that's what I observed.
Thank you very much, Bumi. Let's have you, Oluwaseyi Olakorede.
Hi, Doc. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I think
Hello, boss.
Shola summarized my thoughts. As usual, Trump is in his braggadocious ways. And Obama polished as ever and systematic about it. But Trump will just, as usual, dish it to you like he chooses. But I could tell more from Obama. He was intentional in passing across the message to reflect even on an individual American listening to that speech.
Yeah.
I feel Trump came from the perspective of, yes, I told you we're going to do this, we've gotten it done. But if I was listening to Trump as an American, I just feel, oh, yeah, we knew you were up to it, you've done it, okay, good, thanks for letting us know. But much more from Obama was to carry along every American to understand. You laid the foundation from the event that had happened. It laid the foundation into the work that had gone into it. Even though I think Obama too was a bit descriptive, but not as descriptive as Trump, but in the sense of wanting everybody to appreciate what had been done and probably also based on a past promise.
Okay.
And I think up to today, Obama's own speech always carries the day anyway.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your thoughts. Bumi Oti, you have written Talatu in brackets, so I don't know which
Okay, good evening. Good evening, Doctor. So, good evening, team. So, I think I will just capture his style of speech in one word in Yoruba, what Yoruba call Agbero style of talk. So,
who was Agbero there?
Style of talk is bold, but it's not sensitive to the emotions of people. That is, I think that's just what I would say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take 3 more and then we'll close it out here. Taiwo Olajide, your hand is up. Just let's have you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I think some of my thoughts have been echoed already. Just to say, yes, I was going to say Obama was very descriptive. He was firm. He painted a background. He gave a background and led us into why and how what was done. And, you know, his own speech kept me glued. You know, he could have gone on for another 10, 15 minutes. I would have paid attention to him. So he connected with me and I was able to understand everything he was saying. He said he was diplomatic, he was empathetic, and I was able to understand perfectly why he had to do what he did. But for Trump, I felt he was a bit arrogant. He was showing off with the way he was saying everything, and I think he said too much. He was overly descriptive. He was trying to be descriptive, but you could feel the arrogance in his own description. And I think I was just like, just say what you want to say and go. So I think he didn't really connect well with me. I think it was just the style and method of delivery for me that was quite different. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can take, oh my God, there are more hands now. Now the last hand that just came up is my boss. Okay, so let's take Jennifer, you're next. Tomi, Oluyemi, you're after her, and then John Mote will be the final person. Jennifer, in 1 minute, can we just hear what you have to say? Yes.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, from my own point of view, listening to it, Obama, yes, gave more or less an explanatory and descriptive form during his speech, and he was more empathetic. Like you could see and feel the emotional part of the whole story, the whole what's it called, speech, right? And is relatable. So as much as he's explaining what happened, he's also showing the sign of humanity in it. But the that's for Trump. um he was not as emotional as he should, like having that emotional intelligence, saying that not that he's not emotional intelligent though. I'm only saying that for that speech in particular, like you could see that he was just direct, like blunt, like I'm dishing it the way it is, regardless, even though he's 100% correct, right? But that is the way it is. But so many people cannot like consume such informations just like that. So you have to find a way to like balance it out as much as possible. But he is that kind of a person that, oh, I'm going to dish it out. If it is 9, it is 9, and 9 it is. Like that is what it is. But the other way around for Barack, that's Obama, he was like, okay, it is 9, but here are other like subtle way to like release such information to the public, right? That's the way I understand the speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I'll take just Tomi, Oluyemi, and John Mote, and if you can, do it for me in 20 seconds each. Oluyemi?
Okay. All right, I'm here. Thank you. Can you all hear me?
Very well,
All
very
right.
clear.
Okay. Obama understood sensitivities that would have been touched while he was speaking. It cut across religious lines and some of these things. So he tried to deliver the speech in a subtle manner in order to appeal some of these sensitivities, because he understood the nature of what was done. Okay. Of course, a lot of territorial integrity were breached and all because of the secrecy of things, that the way it was done. We understood this and tried to just play it subtle. But we all know that there's no gainsay in hiding the fact that Trump lacked emotional intelligence when he speaks. He doesn't care whose ox is God. You are the commander-in-chief and you're delivering a speech, and you're talking about somebody, you don't even have a full grasp of the person's name. He called 2 different names. And that doesn't speak well. And he was just speaking, we did this, he was shivering. So many descriptions without emotional intelligence attached to it. All right. So that wasn't, the 2 differences were there. One cared about the feelings of other people, and the other didn't even care, without even having a full grasp of what he was speaking about. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And all the other hands I saw before have gone down. I do not know why. So, but I want to presume you have spared me the time and spared us the time. Thank you, everyone. Now, what you have all done is to critique a speech. And that is one way, that is one of the strategies I'm going to share with you today on how to really prepare to deliver a great speech yourself. Maybe one thing I want to say about that speech, and I'll go on to what we have prepared for this evening, is to say that if you saw their body language, what we call platform behavior, the platform behavior in delivering a speech, this is a speech that's been prepared for both of them. Whichever way, the speech writers of America, I believe, are one of the best in the world. They will have, sequenced and coordinated the speech in such chronological order that it will address certain critical issues. But I think the challenge we all have had here is, a majority of us have had here, is the delivery. And the delivery here, you saw Obama trying to speak very fluently. I don't know if you noticed, there were four occasions when Obama spoke and he did not call the words correctly. There were some words like quickly that, were like tongue twisting for him, but he didn't even show it. You didn't even know. Obama and Trump never showed emotions on their faces. They were just very straight. They kept a very straight face. We're talking serious matter here. We're not laughing, we're not smiling, and we're not showing joy, and we're not sad either way. That's what I think I saw. And let's go on to the session. And again, like I said, please remember these videos. Remember what you've watched, and then we will see everything we're learning from it. The first thing I want to talk to you about tonight are the rules of language. Language is the platform upon which we deliver any speech, whether it is English language or Yoruba language or Igbo language or a TV language. Language is what we use to deliver anything that we do. Okay? The language. Now, the question here is, every language you use in delivery in a speech has rules. I'm going to borrow from the man called Frank Luntz. If you look at the bottom of the page on your screen, you will find a book title there. It says Words That Work. And this is one of my favorite quotes when I talk about public speaking. I say that it is not what you say that matters. It is what people hear. Most of us always say that it's not what you say that matters. It is it's how you say it. Frank Luntz is saying it's not what you say that matters. It is what the people hear. When somebody hears something different from what you've said, you have not truly communicated. Friends, effective communication is when intended meaning equals perceived meaning. In effective communication, a perfect delivery of a speech or a message or an instruction is when intention equals perception. The intention of the speaker, the intention of the message bearer equals the perception of the listener or the perception of the audience. And the responsibility is on the speaker to ensure that his intention becomes the audience's perception. And that's where the work is. The work is really not on the audience as much as it is on the speaker. And here are some rules, a few rules of language. Again, let me warn and say here that this session is not about elocution. This session today is not about speaking. It's not about pronunciation. We're not talking about calling the words the right way or not. We're just about here delivering the principles and techniques on how you can create and deliver a great speech. Okay? The first rule, number one, top left corner. Simplicity. Use small words. There used to be one politician in Nigeria, for those of you who are in Nigeria, that was known for using very big and complex words. Do you remember that politician? I've not seen him in a long time. I think it was a honorable. Okay, Honorable Patrick, yes.
Obayagbo.
Obayagbo will always say things like krinkum krankum. And the idea of simplicity is not that we are asking you to lower the quality of your delivery. It's about the ability of your audience to be able to interpret and understand and resonate with your words. When you analyze your word, what we call audience analysis, you've got to know the status of your audience, the capacity of your audience to process the words that you use in a presentation. So we're saying one rule of language is use small words. Speak in very clear, everyday language. Words must be understandable and alienate any form of complexity. Number two is brevity. Use short sentences. There's a book I read many years ago. It's titled Words Make Good Sentences and Good Sentences Make a Great Speech. Words make good sentences and good sentences make a great speech. Brevity is the key word here. One rule of language is use short sentences. Avoid over-explanation. Maybe Mr. Donald Trump violated that rule. Oh, he was going into the tunnel. He had 3 children with him, and he was whimpering and crying and scampering. He was in dread. He was this and that. Maybe that was over-explanation. Brevity. There's a Yoruba proverb that speaks about brevity. What's that proverb again? I mean, really? Really? I think it's shoki lobeoge, meaning that's what it means. Yeah, that's shoki, meaning, I mean, very concise. Concise. The stew or the soup of the beautiful is very, it's very simple as it kisses. Now, brevity means use short sentences. Don't use long, unwinding sentences. Some of us in writing our speeches and making speeches, you find yourself using many prepositions, many conjunctions, and you have used and, through, by. In one single narrative, one single narration, you've used many conjunctions. Now, keep your messages crisp. Crisp is the word. Crisp. The soup of the beautiful is crisp. Keep your messages crisp. Number 3 rule is sound and texture. No matter how beautifully we saw Mr. Donald Trump pass on the message, we also understand that the sound and the texture of his delivery wasn't well delivered, right? Rhythmic flow enhances memory. When you use words like tonight, the American people, did you hear how he closed his speech? One nation under God, indivisible. That was somebody trying to give you a rhythm to flow with. We're not saying use rhymes all of the time, but ensure that there's a rhythmic flow in your presentation. It's a rule of language. And people remember what sounds good. Look at what Taiwo said when he was giving his comment. Taiwo said, Obama got me glued. He could have gone on 10 minutes and I'll continue to listen to him. Number 4, rule, visualize. A rule of language is to get people to visualize. Use language that paints pictures. Many of us possibly saw Abu Bakar. I think that was what, I've forgotten your name now. Oluyemi was saying that Trump was trying to get the name. I said, Abu Bakar, Abu Bakar is Abu Bakar, right? Abu Bakar, and they called another name, right? But the moment he was calling him and he said he went down the tunnel, many of us created that image. One rule of language, if you're going to help get people to, perceive what you're saying, is to let your words create mental images for them. When Obama said, and we took custody of his body, we could imagine when they took custody of the body. When he said a compound, we went into a compound. You can imagine a compound in your eyes, in your mind. And most often than not, the words that help you make people visualize are words like imagine. If I said to you now, imagine waking up in a Movenpick hotel. Amarachi, I'm sure you're going to be happy hearing Movenpick on this call. You didn't pay me for advertising though, but okay. So imagine waking up in the room on the 7th floor of Movenpick Hotel on Alfred Owani, Ikoyi, Lagos. Now, if I said that, all of a sudden, an image wells up. And those images don't just well up or don't just come up in your mind. What comes along with it are emotions. So when we use words that create an image because that image also will bring along with it emotions. And that emotion allows the meaning of your words to be received by the audience. The fifth rule is provide contexts and explain relevance. Ladies and gentlemen on this call, context is king. There are times you use certain words, and the words you use in your presentation, the people cannot relate with it. Always answer the question, why should I care? Why should you care about how the audience feels? Why should you care about how the audience perceives your words? Obama, we didn't see Obama holding onto the platform, okay? But we saw Mr. Donald Trump holding that platform, and we were not even sure if his jacket was his size. If you saw that as well, that's about dressing. But you need to know why you care. People care. Why should you care about what people think? Because they may not receive the message. He looked careless. He sounded carefree in that presentation. Again, always put the message into the listener's world. The moment Obama started to say, it was not just those things that happened that we lost. He said, the things that are unseen and unspoken is the dinner table that is empty. The father is not there at the dinner table at night. That was putting the message into the listener's world. He was making the message personally meaningful. Majority of us on this call are HR professionals. How do you deliver what I call a difficult message? If you had to tell his staff that he has been asked to leave the organization, how do you deliver it in such a way that he can understand? If you have to make a case for cost of living adjustments to be made for the staff, how do you make management see and feel that the thing you're presenting carries a lot of weight? Make it personally meaningful. Provide context wherein people can relate with. Number 6, ask questions. Dr. Frank Luntz says one of the rules of language is ask questions. Rhetorical or reflective questions always engage the listener. In fact, I know that he who asks questions is in control of the conversation. He who is asking the question is in control of a conversation. He who asks the question is in control of a conversation. And anytime you ask questions in your speeches, be it rhetorical or reflective questions, they activate the thinking of the speaker. They activate the thinking and they create emotional buy-in. The same way when you use words like create, or the words like imagine waking up. When it creates an image in people and wells up an emotion, the same effect is delivered when you ask questions. Number 7, speak aspirationally. Anytime you're having to deliver a speech, whether you're giving an instruction, you are clarifying an information, you are addressing an audience, always appeal to hopes and dreams and not just problems. And not just problems. Appeal to hopes, appeal to dreams. If you're delivering a speech with someone, you're having a conversation with someone and you're telling him, you know what, we're having to downsize this organization, we have now become insolvent, and your work or your role has been declared redundant. I'm very sure that you can make it. Let him know. I'm very sure you can make it in the future. You've got the skills and competencies that many people do not possess. And I'm very sure that right behind the walls of this organization, there are many employers who are itching to have you engage them. That's speaking aspirationally. Give people something to believe in or to strive for, no matter how difficult the conversation may be. Maybe I should recommend to you on this call right now an article I read many years ago, a long time ago. The article is titled, A Better Way to Deliver Bad News. A Better Way to Deliver Bad News. You may want to look for that article. And that article just speaks about how to frame and reframe conversations. A better way to deliver bad news. In my life, in my journey of life, I've had to work as Dean of Students at Covenant University and Registrar at Covenant University. In those two roles, I've had the very difficult responsibility of delivering bad news to people. And I'm privileged tonight on this call, I am very privileged tonight that one of those in the audience today, Miss Fola Oyinloye, one woman who loves me to shreds, who always acknowledges me and always says to me, before I met you, I knew you. Those were words of hope she gave me. She said, before I knew you, before I met you, I knew you. Once I heard you deliver a speech, I knew you were going somewhere to happen. And somewhere, some line of my career and her career, our paths crossed together. And I'm glad she's of the administrators hub. I want to just say hello on the call. Just I know you. I didn't plan to call you for you to just hello to this audience. Thank you for believing in me. Are you still there?
Good evening, Dr. Oludayo. I'm very much here.
Good evening.
And it's a privilege. Thank you for this opportunity to say hello to everyone. Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to be here tonight. I'm so excited to be here listening to Dr. Oludayo. He is just particularly gifted in public speaking. And I'm also excited to see that a few persons from the Administrators Hub are here today. Mrs. Oti, always expressive. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Always very, very expressive. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, Dr. Oludayo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Oludayo. You're doing a great job. And like I say all the time, greatness. That's all you are.
You, Mark.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see any person speak.
Yes, I think it is network.
Yes, I'm back here. I can hear you all.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Ms. Oyinloye. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Delivering having difficult language. All right, we will not be deterred. We will just continue to speak. It's looking like network is having to deal with a number of us here. I'm seeing a number of people go in and out as well. Don't worry, we'll make good use of this. We're recording this. Always have opportunity. Okay. Self-introduction. Many a time we all have this call it opportunity to answer the question, can we meet you? And how well do you do when you answer that question? Can I have people comment in the chat? How well do you do when you answer that question? How well do you answer that question? How well do you answer the question, can we meet you? Looks like you all have left me here. Am I still alone on this call?
Well, with you.
Okay. Bumi, how well do you answer the question, can we meet you?
I just keep it simple and short. My name and what I do. So I don't stutter.
All right, right on this call, I'm going to give you a formula. a formula for self-introduction, because again, maybe that's where speaking really starts from. You want to tell people who you are. I'm going to introduce you to what I call the C.A.S.K.E model. And you can see on the screen that this model helps you to be able to respond to the question, can we meet you? And right on this call, I'm going to have you do some presentation of this. So just get ready, okay? Please get ready. For those who have not said a word, you don't come to a public speaking class and not say a word. Okay, so please be ready. Just be ready. Mr. Prince, Chukwemeka, just get ready. I'm going to have to call you. Mary Jane, if you don't mind, just prepare. I may have to call you as well. I see quite a number of people on the call that I might call. Shegun Rodari, I may call you as well. Okay, so the first element in the model is credentials. Start with your name and your formal identity, your education, your certification, or your current title. If somebody's asking you, can we meet you? Always start with your name and your formal identity, your education, your certification, and current title. The second is your attributes. Go along and highlight your key personal and professional qualities. Think of values, traits, and how other people have described you. Bring it along when you're trying to respond to that question, can we meet you? The third is your skills. Mention specific, relevant, and transferable skills that set you apart. Mention specific, relevant, and transferable skills that set you apart. The fourth element of this model is your knowledge areas. When you're responding to the question, can we meet you? Outline the areas you understand deeply, and because these things will define your intellectual and professional terrain. Always outline the areas you understand very deeply, because they will define your intellectual and professional terrain. And the final thing you want to do when you're responding to this question is experience. Share specific highlights of what you've been a part of. This validates your claims with real exposure. These validates your claims with real exposure. Okay, so credentials, attributes, skills, knowledge, and experience. For many of us on this call who are HR professionals, you are very good at asking people this question. Hello, welcome to this interview. Can we meet you? And then you judge the participants. I mean, you judge the person responding. You judge the person in such a way that the person is wondering if he said the right thing or not. In fact, you're there somewhere in the corner of your heart saying, look at how you responded. Look at what he even said. Is that how to introduce yourself? Whereas if the tables were turned and I said, dear Madam HR, can you please introduce yourself? You're likely going to stutter and make a blunder of that opportunity as well. And so today we give you a clue, or should I say technique, on how to deal with that question. Let me give you an example. Look on the screen here and let everyone who is willing to take a chance also be ready to share theirs. Look at a sample here. My name is Ifunaya Okonkwo, a HR practitioner with background in industrial psychology. Okay, that's credentials. I'm a detailed-oriented person, dependable and people-driven. I'm detailed-oriented, dependable, and people-driven. I bring skills in organizational diagnosis, policy writing, and strategic workforce planning. Professionally, I'm grounded in compensation design, performance management, and career development systems. And over the past decade, I've led employee value proposition projects, consulted on restructuring efforts, and delivered training to over 2,000 professionals across Nigeria. This seems like a good response to, can we meet you? Ladies and gentlemen on this call today, are you able to attempt to use this model to respond to the question, can we meet you? So wherever you're seated right now, listening to me, begin to pen this down. Even if this is not your challenge, attempt to use this model to respond to that question. Even if you already have conquered the ability to respond to things like this, I'm appealing to you, use this model so that we can move on. Olaito Oladimiji, you may be called. Afolake Okoro, you may be called. Anayo, you may be called. Blessing Jonah Lever, you may be called. I see my big sister on the call, Sister Buki. Good evening. CJ, you may be called. I like your first outcome in this meeting, your first engagement. I've not heard so much about from you again after that, so you may be called. Esther Uzo, Favor, I may call you. So right now, keep writing. Can we meet you? If you're willing to share what you have written, I'm happy to give you an opportunity to speak and deliver it in 30 seconds. All of us have this responsibility. You go for a professional conference, you go for an event, somebody says, oh, my name is Moa, and the person says, can I meet you? And sometimes we just get stuck. We don't know what else to say. Is anybody willing to take a try? Is anybody willing to go? This part of the class, you cannot type it. You have to say it. And this is one major game. Bumi, are you ready to
Okay, can I
go?
try? My name is Oluwatomi. Can I go ahead?
Tomi, please go ahead. I'd love to hear you. And Bumi, you come afterward. All right, Tomi, you have the floor.
Okay. My name is Oluwatomi Oluyemi, a learning and development professional. I studied history and international studies from Babcock University with a master's degree in public and international affairs from University of Lagos. I'm also a professional project manager and I have people capability skills. I'm a capability development professional. I lead teams on people development and organizational development as well. I'm an active listener, a vivid problem solver, and I help to build systems and structures that make the workplace a better place. Professionally, I have worked in various capacities across various fields. I have experience spanning telecoms, banking, as well as financial technology, cutting across different areas of customer service, digital marketing, marketing and corporate communications, technical audits, human resource, which I finally work. And I've helped organizations design processes and programs to build future generations. That's about me. Thank you.
Your 30 seconds has passed. Seems so. Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go. Hi, Olaito, it's your turn. You can have the floor. Hello, Olaito, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening, doctor. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll just go. My name is Oludayo Oladimiji, a dedicated human resource specialist serving in the public sector with a strong background in people management and public service delivery. I am detail-oriented, policy-driven, and passionate about improving systems that enhance workforce effectiveness. I bring skills in organizational structuring, HR policy formulation, workforce planning, and employee well-being advocacy. I am grounded in public sector practices, performance management, training and development frameworks that support institutional growth. Over the, is my time off here?
Go ahead.
I think I'll just stop.
Go
ahead. Okay, over the past decade, I have led HR initiatives that improve staff productivity, supported capacity building programs across different ministries and MDAs, and also contributed to the reforms that align public sector HR practices. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Tomi thank you as well. I hope you all tried your hands on it, because again, when we come for sessions like this, if you don't try your hands on it, you have just come for a talk shop. If you tried, as you work it out, it gets better. Let me give you a bit of insight into the structure. Again, your credentials, you know your name and your credentials. Endeavor to use the credential that is best fit for the context of the conversation you are having. So you don't have to name all your credentials. You possibly just want to say, my name is Oludayo. I'm a HR practitioner. I've got a doctorate in human resource management. I don't want to say I've got a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and a doctorate degree, I don't want to say all of that. I just choose one that is fit for purpose. Many of us do not know what words to use for our attributes. Can I recommend to you that you take a personality test? And can I ask my colleagues, drop the personality test, our famous personality test link that we normally will recommend to people to take. Please just drop it in the chat. I think it's 41q.com. Drop that link in the chat and take a test on that. Take a personality assessment test on that site. It's free. They give you a set of adjectives that describe you. Just choose a few to be able to say this is who you are. And then your skills are there. Divide your skills into 3. Just choose 3 skills. The first will be the technical skill. The second will be your human relation skill. And the third will be your conceptual skill. Just choose 3. Again, you don't want to be overbearing. Remember the rules of language: conciseness, brevity. You can't afford to keep talking and talking. You don't have more than, say, 15, 20 seconds to deliver it, and you're not going to be rushing. Okay? Those are just thoughts I thought I should drop here. Am I happy that anybody has tried it? Has anybody else tried writing their self-introduction? Please try it. It'll be I'll be glad to hear from you. You can email me, or you can send a text to me, or you can do me voice notes. I would love to hear how you have described yourself. Now, my friends, the next thing I want to address is paucity of words. If you are not going to be as privileged as Obama or Trump, that will have speech writers for them, perhaps you've been called by your chairman to represent him at a function, and he's saying, speak on my behalf, and there's no script. One of the many challenges we have as speakers, as leaders, as managers, is that sometimes we have an intention, but we don't have the right words. Our vocabulary is not rich enough to support us in delivering and translating our intentions and our ideas. Many of us do not have a rich vocabulary, and so we struggle. Can I be honest with you? If your vocabulary is not rich enough, you will struggle with delivering effective speeches. You will struggle in public speaking. And that's why I take my time to address the issues of public speaking or paucity of words. Now, paucity of words is not a weakness. It's not a weakness. That you don't have sufficient words is not a weakness. That you don't have sufficient words is not a weakness. It is just a signal. Stop, ready, and go. It's a signal. What paucity of words does is that it points you to areas of growth in exposure, in expression, and for intentional learning. With time and practice and with tools such as we're going to share right now, your voice becomes your own instrument of influence. If anybody knows Obama for anything, they possibly know him to be one great speaker. One great speaker. But here I've shared with you 6 ways to overcome the paucity of words. 6 ways to overcome the paucity of words. Number 1, find a model. Who do you want to speak like? I'm not saying be a copycat. If you have not found your own style, find somebody else who has got a style. And from imitation, you can get onto distinction. See, if you are lacking in anything, your way to distinction is to begin with imitation. Find a model and try to kowtow after that model. And the words that the person uses, you want to begin to use it. Use other people's words is one way to overcome the paucity of words. Number 2, be creative. Let me ask a question in this room, and I'd like you to please tell me the meaning of the word I'm going to mention right now. What is the meaning of the word phanimoros? Does anybody know? What's the meaning of the word phanimoros?
Something that is appealing.
Appealing, really? Taiwo says appealing as well. Anybody else? What is phanimoros? Thank you, Mizoti. What is the word? What's the meaning of the word phanimoros? Anybody? Please don't go quiet on me now. Some of you are still writing your speech.
Attractive.
It means attractive. Oh my God, CJ says wicked.
Interesting.
Interesting. CJ, where did you get that from? Talk to me. Where did you get wicked from? How did the wicked come to your mind? I really need to know. Somebody says interesting, somebody says something beautiful. Now, the word attractive does not exist in the dictionary. It doesn't. Oh, not fascinoros. No, I said phanimoros. 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 So phanimoros doesn't exist in the dictionary. It does not exist. But it is from a Yoruba word. Is it even English? Exactly, Vanessa. It's not even English. But it's from a Yoruba word. The Yoruba word is phanimora, meaning it is attractive, it is charming, it is beautiful. Thank you, Sister Buki. It is beautiful to the eyes. And guess what? It gets into the language. So the moment you say you are phanimoros, for people who understand the root word phanimora, they assume they understand it and they say yes. Today there's a word called jakba. Jakba has entered the lexicon. It's now a word in the dictionary. Phanimoros possibly has appeared there as well. See, there's a man called Rudyard Kipling, one of the great writers of the world. Way back then, our friends will say, Ojo Phanimoros, exactly. I mean, so Phanimoros just came into the word. So you imagine you write, I met him that day and I said to him, you're so Phanimoros. And I'll tell you how to use these words in a sentence in a few minutes. So be creative, create your own words. However, explain them in a context. Remember those rules of language, always explain, always use context and explain relevance. So anytime you use a new word, a word that does not exist, but is simple enough. Imagine that word, don't forget that word, simple. Simplicity is a rule of language. Use it, create your own word, but a word that is simple enough. The moment you're done using that word, you want to explain it. If I ask you right now, what does the word bougie mean? Bougie. When they say, oh, you're bougie, Lighton is bougie. Dolapo is bougie. Oredola is bougie. What does bougie mean?
Tush.
Does the word exist? Oredola, does bougie exist?
Posh. Polished.
Does bougie exist? In
Yes,
the urban
it does.
dictionary, of course. Not in the formal dictionary.
Someone say in urban dictionary.
Yes, it's true. In urban dictionary, it exists, right? But it's not formal. But the moment you start to use it, he said, I've come into this room today and I'm glad to address you as your head of HR. All of you new entrants are looking bougie. The moment you say so, the next sentence must be the one that explains what bougie means. And then you will have overcome the paucity of words. Number 3, borrow words from other disciplines. Look to other contexts and disciplines and borrow words. Sometimes you want to say, let's break this thing down. That's what you want to say, but break this thing down, it defeats the rule of brevity. What discipline can you borrow words from? I'm asking you now on the call. I want to say, let's break this thing down, but it defeats the rule of brevity. So what can I say? What else can I say?
Let's dissect this.
Where's dissect coming from?
Science, biology.
Science. Okay, so dissect comes from science. It has helped me. What else can you use? Let's break this thing down.
Slicing. Let's slice it.
Let's slice it. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? What discipline is that coming from? Okay.
Bread and butter.
Somebody say, let's simplify it.
Let's dismantle it.
Let's dismantle. Oh my God. You guys are just... I need to know the discipline. Let's fix it. All right. Let's analyze it. Let's dissect it. Let's, the moment you have some of these things that you want to do, please oh no, CSA, you didn't say let's double click on it. What does that mean? You are even violating the rule the more. I want to break this thing down. Let's dissect it. Let's analyze it. Let's review it. Let's, break it down. Always look to other contexts and disciplines. Number 4, we're saying use analogies. Use analogies. Use examples or concepts to explain the things you want to say. Many of the time you realize that people want to deliver a speech. They want to say something, but they are not able to even say it. All of a sudden they are saying, like, they use the words like, let me explain. They want to explain first because they don't have the right words, so they go quickly into explanation. That's one way to overcome paucity of words. And then number 5 is switching. You can switch from the formal tone to an informal tone, and then again, always follow it up with an explanation. Number 6, which is a little technical and a little difficult, is to reverse words. Reverse words. You want to say somebody is smart, or you want to say somebody is not smart, yet you don't want to say stupid. How do you say it? So reverse words. If you're not smart, what are you? But I don't want to use the word stupid. So you begin to do what we call antonyms. It's set for antonyms of words. Inspiration for a right word can be derived when we seek a word opposite in meaning to it. I want to say something like, I'm rich, but the words that keep coming to my mind is I'm not poor. So I'm looking for other words. As I keep looking for either synonyms or antonyms, and I reverse them, I'm able to get the things that I want. So my friends on this call, self-introduction is one thing, delivering your speech is another, but you realize that the words are the ingredients for that speech delivery. And when you don't have words, you'll be stuck in presentation. Now, as I begin to take you towards the tail end of this presentation today, there's still a lot more to share. We're just about 60% into it. When does HR or admin speak? What occasions do you deliver speeches? What occasions do you deliver speeches? Number 1, in town hall meetings. I know quite a number of us here have what we call town hall meetings. You have town hall meetings. These are the times where you address the entire organization on strategy, on values, or policy shifts. You are addressing the entire organization. HR speaks at a town hall meeting. Number 2, HR speaks at board or management presentations. You've got to present you've got to present something at a management meeting. And many of us who lead HR, we always go to make presentations on board committees. I mean, board committees on HR or management committee on HR and governance and things like that. So whenever you have to report on workforce metrics or talent strategy or HR initiatives, that's an occasion for your speaking. So I'm having to help you now start to think about it. Number 3, onboarding. You're always called upon to welcome new hires or introduce organizational culture and policies to people. When there are new things, new people, new teams, you want to onboard them on to the organization. The 4th thing is when you have new policy rollouts. When you're explaining new HR policies, whether they're legal policies or compliance frameworks to employees, you're going to be doing it. Can I please prick all the conscience of our HR professionals in the room? Have you started to prepare for how you will tell people that the tax law will impact their salaries or the remittances you make on their behalf? That's a policy rollout. Very soon, salary structures will change. Okay. Number 5, appraisal briefings. Whenever you're guiding managers or staff members through appraisal systems and expectations, you're speaking. HR has an occasion to speak at such times. And you may be privileged also as a HR professional to facilitate structured learnings on soft or technical HR topics. Again, that's an occasion for speaking. And this is one of the ways you need to get yourself ready for speaking. Then recognition events, you're having to present commendations, end of year party, or some kind of event where you are having to speak to employee excellence. That's one occasion also that you need to prepare for as a HR professional. The eighth platform for speaking is career and industry events. When you're representing your company at, say, job fairs or HR conferences, you will be speaking. Now, what I would have loved to do if we were here on a 3-day course was to say, prepare a speech to be delivered at a town hall meeting. And I'm giving you this task to go and do yourself. My colleague on the call, Dolapo, will drop a link right now, a link for you to give us feedback for this meeting. We will love to reach out to you and ask you and follow up with you how you have done all of these activities. Oredola will drop in my email address in the chat as well. And the idea is, when you have drafted this, we want to take as many feedbacks as much as possible from you. Draft a speech for each of these 8 occasions. And let's invite you. We're going to invite you to deliver it. Let's help you. Let's have you deliver a speech on each of these 8 occasions. If we're in a workshop, I'll have said to you, okay, now prepare. Prepare the town hall speech. Prepare the town hall speech. Prepare your board presentation, and then deliver it. We'll have said that to you. Okay? Now let's move on as I try to close. How then do you create a speech? Today, we've talked about how to introduce yourself. We've talked about how to overcome the paucity of words. The third thing we've talked about today is how to overcome, how to identify the several scenarios for speaking. Now, the tool of speaking itself is a speech. How do you create a speech? I've got 7 ways. 7 ways to create a speech. But before I speak to the 7 ways, and I'm going to give you a sample, please follow through with me as I do this. The process starts with your intent. You have an intention. You have something you want to share with people. And your intention is first colored and crafted with words. What words reflect your intentions? So you go from the intention to the words, and then you put the words together. They become a sentence. And you put the sentences together, they become a speech. So what we have said here is 7 ways to creating a speech. Number 1, extend rhythms. If you listen to Obama, go back and reflect on Obama's speech, you will know that there was a flow in the way he spoke. Number 2, use quotes towards the tail end of Obama's speech. That's, call it, tagline that he used. He said, "We are America, one nation, under God, indivisible." That's a quote. That's a tagline. Use quotes in your speeches. Number 3, use stories. Use stories. If you use stories as part of a single speech, I'm not talking about many speeches now, all of those things as part of a single speech, you'll be shocked that you have sufficient resource to write a very beautiful speech. Number 4, use data. Facts. For example, I could say today on this call, during the last public speaking masterclass held by Dr. Oludayo on July 19, 2025, there were at a point 49 participants. These 49 participants came from 7 states in Nigeria. I mean, I'm beginning to talk about data. And these 7 states in Nigeria, we had them spread across 3 geopolitical zones. There were 45 women on the call and 3 men on the call. Of the 45 women, 7 of them are HR professionals, 20 of them are XYZ. Now that's data. And as you begin to reflect data in your speech, you realize that you are already passing on a message. Maybe the 5th point here is a personal moment. You possibly heard Obama talk about personal moments in the delivery of his own speech. He talked about the fact that people will be on a dining table and there'll be no father, there'll be no mother, there'll be no spouse. He reflected and hinged on personal moments. Did you recall also that when he was speaking, he talked about the fact that sometimes his heart sinks when he is made to write a letter to a family that has lost a loved one? That was his own personal moment. Many a time when we speak or write a speech, we don't put these things together. I know it may be a formal speech. Even in formal speeches, there are opportunities for you to put in personal moments, particularly how these things affect you or someone that you know. The 6th point on the screen is one thing that everybody did at the beginning of the speech, of this presentation. You all critiqued those 2 speeches. When you critique a speech, and I did not say when you criticize, the word is critique, meaning you identify what is wrong with an intention to correct it. You identify what is wrong with an intention to correct it. So if you're going to write a speech or deliver a speech, one way to learn how to do it is listen to some people speak. Listen to few people speak, not some people. Now, listen to few people speak. When they speak, identify what is wrong. Identify what is not right. And beyond that, identify what is correct and what it should be. The moment you're able to identify what it should be, then you can then go to number 7, rewrite the speech. Rewrite the speech. Rewrite the speech. Critique a speech. Identify the wrong, identify the right, and then rewrite the speech. Okay? Now, these are 7 ways to create a speech. Now, let me show you an example. This is a speech from a HR professional. The HR professional is addressing certain things in the organization. Please follow through with me. And if you look on the screen, you can see here that I've tried to put each of the elements on how to create a speech in a box just right beside it. Please confirm you can see my screen and you can see the speech. Yes, you can. Thank you, my HR. Good morning, colleagues and comrades. Today, I do not come with perfection. This person here is announcing that there's a problem with the organization. They are downsizing. Things are not going well. They need to just do something about it. That's the context for this speech. Today, I do not come with perfection, but with honesty, clarity, and reflection. Did you see reason there? I do not come with perfection, Sean, but with honesty, clarity, honesty, T, clarity, T. And after that comes back reflection. I do not come with perfection, but with honesty, clarity, and reflection. In a world of constant fluctuation, we need vision, organization, and fusion, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And for us in manufacturing, these are not just tales. They show up in supply chain delays and rising raw material sales. Look at box number 2, where he used data. Let's start with data. and not just intuition. The World Bank reports global growth at just 2.1%, a concerning condition. McKinsey's research warns that 1 in 3 jobs may be disrupted by automation, and HR is now tasked with navigating transformation without stagnation. Dave Ulrich once said, HR is not about HR, it's about delivering value for all stakeholders. A quote there. Look into box number 3. You will see this HR leader using a story. And it says, remember Nokia's fall. Despite once leading the phone race, they lacked agility and they lost their place. Race, place, rhythm. And Zoom's rise during COVID, with virtual meetings in every nation, shows how companies win through swift adaptation. That's a story there. Let's go to the 4th box. Here, personal moment. Just last month, I walked through the shop floor. I saw Musa at line 4. Eyes sunken, voice sore. He said, Oga, things they had, but I did try my best. That moment hit me harder than any boardroom test. It made it surreal. Not just charts and news, but real people with real pain. Nothing abstract to diffuse. And then you go again to box number 5, you see quotes. You go again to box number 6, you see personal moments. And then we wrap it up with, number 7, quote, box number 7 on the end of the speech, where you see him using a lot of quotes as well as rhythms. My question to you is this, or my chart to you is this. If you will, look at those 8 scenarios that we have painted for you and craft a speech for yourself using this formula. Go from a 100-word speech to a 200-word speech. Just use these things, use it. And I'm appealing to you to please use it. Once you use it, you will find yourself equipped to be better. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not enough to have the tools and techniques that I've shared with you today. If you don't practice, you will not be able to manifest expertise. I always say to my friends, an apprentice will remain a novice if he or she does not practice. An apprentice will remain a novice if he or she does not practice, even though there's opportunity for that apprentice to demonstrate expertise. If you don't practice, you'll remain a novice, even if you have an opportunity to demonstrate expertise. So I'm asking you today, take those tools. Overcoming the paucity of words, I've given you a few things there. Self-introduction, I've given you a few things there. How to create a speech, I've given you things there. Then go around all those 8 scenarios and try to create speeches in all of those words. Now that you know how to overcome paucity of words, now you know the conditions under which you can deliver a speech. And now you know how to create a speech. My next challenge tonight as I close is to say, how then do I deliver this speech? Many of us, the slides will be made available to you. Please ensure you fill or you complete the form that is currently being dropped in the chat. The slide will be made available to you. We're going to reply everyone who sends a message to us through that form, and you will get the videos. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Joshua, you can drop the YouTube channel in the chat. Hello, Josh. You can drop the YouTube channel in the chat so that people can subscribe and get access to the videos when it's released. Okay, thank you. Now, finally today, how do you deliver your speech? How do you deliver the speech? Now I know the instruments of speech delivery. I've learned the words, I've learned the rules of language. I've learned how to overcome paucity of words. I've learned how to introduce myself using the C.A.S.K.E model. I have learned and identified 8 scenarios where I can speak. I've identified a technique for creating speeches, and I've seen samples across board. Now, how do I deliver the speech? Many of us on this call, you possibly didn't have any problem with all the other previous parts that we've talked about. Your challenge is in delivering the speech. Meanwhile, do you know how much I shake when it's time? When I stand before the audience, do you know how much I shiver and I begin to stutter? Let me tell you the factors that influence your delivery. Let me tell you the factors that influence your delivery. There are 6 of them. Number 1 is preparation. If you don't prepare, you will always be scared. If you are not prepared, you will always be scared. You can only be steady when you are ready. So prepare. Take time to prepare the speech. Don't assume you can always jump at it. Don't wait till the last minute. Take your time to prepare. Number 2, use physical control. If you've watched me so far, if you were looking on the screen and you were watching me speaking, you realize that I've been using my hands a lot. If you looked at Obama, even though he never used his hands, you possibly saw him moving his head. At some point, he raised his head to say something very serious. At another point, he dropped down the head. You saw Donald Trump as well using all of those things. If you're in a physical space, let me speak like Mr. John Moti, if you're in a physical space and you have to address a physical audience, then eye contact becomes very important. Number 3, poise. Poise. Even when you make a mistake, compose yourself. It's not enough to compose your speech. You should compose yourself. I told you Obama made 4 errors in that speech you listened to. He stuttered on calling 4 different words at different times, but you possibly didn't see it because every other part was very smooth. If you will compose yourself, your errors will not be noticed. But if when you made an error, you say, oh, sorry, oh, excuse me. At that point, people become conscious of the quality of your presentation. Poise. Number 4, experience. Practice and practice and practice. Take every opportunity to deliver a speech that is given to you. If you're called to come and be a speaker, a panelist at any event, take it on. It's your opportunity to build. It's your opportunity to prepare. It's your opportunity to grow the potential that you have today. Number 5, the mental attitude is another factor that influences your delivery. My friends, the greatest position you can take is a positive mental disposition. Never think you are not good enough to deliver a speech as sweet as the ones you admire. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and tell yourself, if you failed at doing it right the first time, then there's an opportunity to do it again the right time. Maybe what's most important of all these 6 elements is the factor of verbal delivery. My friends, when you speak, 3 things about your verbal delivery matters. The rate at which you speak. How many words you speak per minute? Some people speak too fast. They can say 100 words per second. And then nobody hears you. Some people are too slow and they make everything dry and boring. We shall be trying to ensure that the organization does not sack anybody. You all know we don't want to sack any. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Increase that rate. Then there is what we call articulation. It's the command of the language. Whether you're speaking in English or Yoruba, be articulate enough. Let people hear you. Your pronunciation, your audibility, your enunciation needs to be very strong. Let the force in your voice be strong. You heard Obama speak, and there was strong articulation. He called the words correctly. He stressed correctly. There are places where you need to put emphasis. Tonight. That's how we started. Tonight. The people, I can report to the American people that the United States captured and killed Osama bin Laden. I mean, he was just articulating it. And as he was saying it, there was some kind of honor that came with it, and everybody else felt. The last one point there on verbal delivery is your pitch. Please note that speaking is like singing. For those of you who sing on this call, speaking is like singing. It has its tones. It has its own melodies. But anytime you speak, my friend, never end a speech on a high note. Never end a speech on a high note. When I mean a high note, I mean a high tone, a high pitch. For example, I should never say, it is not enough to compose your speech. You should compose yourself. You should compose yourself. No. Never end your speaking on a high pitch. End it on a low, particularly because it helps to emphasize a point. Now, these are 6 factors that help you to have a very great delivery of your speech. I call them the factors that affect your platform behavior. Your behavior on the platform when you are speaking. As I close tonight, let me give you some general tips. These general tips should make you laugh. Some of you will laugh at me because I'm going to show you a few pictures of mine. And I hope it makes sense to you. A few general tips. Number 1, body actions and gestures. This is me delivering a speech. I think it was 3 days ago. 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. You can see that in delivering, you're using body actions and gestures. This really helps. The participants can see you moving and they are glued to you. You've got to learn it. It doesn't come in a day, friends. You've got to learn it. The next is platform positioning. Where exactly should you be standing when you're delivering a speech like this? You can see in the images here, it looks like I prefer to stand on the left side of the screen. Mr. John Moti, are you here? What side of the screen do you think is most preferred? Because we were in that room on the left side of the room. We're in that room together. And that's why I called your name.
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
What side of the screen do you think is best stand? What's your own preference?
The 3rd slide.
The 3rd slide, you prefer the right side. Okay. Mary Jane, what are your thoughts on this? Where do you think is the best platform positioning? What are your thoughts, Mary Jane? It's been a minute we heard your voice. Hello, Mary Jane, are you there? Okay. People are laughing at my pictures. Oh, wow. Okay, so I hope you can hear me, though. It looks like nobody's responding, but I hope you can.
I'm back now. I'm back now, sir.
All right, John, talk to me. What side of the screen do you think is best to stand? You are the head of learning and consulting at Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, and you always host facilitators. If you can see on this screen, 2 of the presentations here are CIPM presentations, and you were in that room monitoring me. What are your thoughts? Where's the best place to stand?
Well, I think the best place to stand basically is the position that captures the attention of the audience the most, where at least they can have all the views that they need. So that's where, without obstructing anyone, though. So that's just the best position to stand.
Why is it that your wife is chatting and she's sending a chat and the chat aligns with what you have just said? Is it a family
really? We are not even in the same place. She's in the room, I'm in the parlor here. So
okay, so that means your family knows where to stand. Okay. I mean, if I were to say, and let me say this technically for everyone here, perhaps you don't have an opinion. I would prefer to stand in either the 2nd slide, the 2nd and the 3rd slide, where the 2 slides are. You see that the 1st slide on my left, I'm standing to the left of the screen, as the case may be, right? And why do I say so? We naturally read from left to right. We naturally read from left to right. So it is easier when you are standing and you're having to read the screen to stand in such a way that you are reading from your left to right. The moment you are reading from your right, you are reading from your left to right, yes. But the moment am I correct? We read from left, we write from left to right, okay? Yes. But the moment you're reading from that place, wherever you stand, you should read towards yourself. Read towards yourself so that the sentences end towards you. But if you're standing on the other side and you start to read from left to right, you will realize that the words are going far away from you. These are very simple techniques that you do not know has an impact on how you resonate with your message. Particularly for those of us that stand to deliver speeches like this. Again, you're correct. You may be in a room that does not allow for this kind, but just ensure that it's comfortable enough to allow you read from left to right, and don't ensure that you're not reading and ending sentences that are far away from you. When you read the sentences and end towards yourself, it's more empowering. It gives you a sense of ownership of the message because everything is coming back to you. Okay. Let's look at one more. How do you handle the microphone? How do you handle the microphone? I think I've delivered, I'm not sure how many thousands of speeches I've delivered in my lifetime and how many audience I've spoken to, even this year alone. But I've spoken to about, say, 6,000 or 10,000 people this year. It's such a privilege. How do you handle the mic? Handle the mic in such a way, ladies and gentlemen, that there is space. After you must have held the mic still comes out from under your hand, no matter how small it is. Don't hold the microphone with the tip of your hand like this, like I'm holding this pen. And you start doing like this. Hello, twe. Hello, twe. No. Don't hold the microphone like this. So hold it in such a way that it comes out of your hand, no matter how little it is. And that's what you see here on the screen. Again, as you speak, one general tip is engage the audience. Engage the audience. Engage the audience. Whenever you deliver a speech, engage the audience. You can see on this call, I'm engaging the audience. One of these, the top left corner is a presentation in Obanikoro for Zenith Bank. The second one on the right is for a company called Afloat Limited in Ikeja. And this one I'm going to play. Please listen to the video. Tama, Baku, Katarina, Don't worry, I mean, at least you know it. Now, did you hear the sound from that video? Did you? Did you hear the sound from that video I just played? Yes, okay, you did. Now, that was audience engagement. Ensure you engage them. These people, the video was from a senior management training of NNPC staff. Now, they are senior people. As you can clearly see, they look like they are senior people. And we had this room of training, but you had to find a way to engage them. No matter the level of audience, ensure you create a rapport with them. Tama. The final general tip I want to give you is using of props for facilitation. How to use props for facilitation. Sometimes you need to use things to drive home your point. On the left, I was talking about capacity here, that different things can have the same competence, they don't have the same capacity. That's what I was teaching here. But on the right of your screen, I did not have my slide with that, but I needed to reference it. So what I did was collected bottles from the people in the room and I used it. If you are delivering a kind of speech or making a kind of presentation that requires that you do this, by all means do it. These things aid the quality of your delivery and ensure that you're doing well. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9 on the dot. We open this room at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. 9 on the dot. We've done well with 2 hours as we planned to. Thank you for having me on this call. I'm willing to take questions. I'm willing to take comments. I have a few announcements to make once we are done. Thank you, Ebunlomo Omiyale, for the kind words. Can anybody, is there any question or you want to reach out to us? Dolapo has dropped the link for the feedback. We'd like to hear from you because we will be sending the link to slides. We'll be sending you the slides and the link to the videos. Strictly to those who respond to us. Just before you go, is anybody asking any question or making a comment? I'm happy to also acknowledge one of the persons who also has given me a platform to speak. I've never been to, my first trip to Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria, was because Mr. Adeshola Odofin of the Lagos State Ministry of Agric and directing the affairs at the Agric Training Institute gave me an opportunity, and he kept engaging me for so many years. Mr. Odofin, I want to acknowledge you especially for joining this call. I know you joined a little later, but I'm still glad that you were able to come in. Good evening, sir, and how are you?
Good evening, doctor. Hello, can you hear me, doctor?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir.
Thank you very much. I joined very late. I had to attend a burial that
wow,
it was never planned.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I guess I've missed so much.
Don't worry, we'll send you the video and we'll send you the slides as well.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Odofin has given me, he makes me stand before about 200 people every month. And I've done that for about 21 or 23 classes, 23 batches of the Lagos Entrepreneurship Program. Imagine being given the opportunity to stand before 200 people 23 times. That's what this man did for me. Please help me applaud him more. That was some opportunity to build your public speaking.
Thank you, doctor, because you are good at what you do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have questions, and I have seen a few hands up in there. John, you have your hand up. What's your question, your comments?
Okay, sir. Just a question, sir. So how does your personality affect your speech writing and also your presentation? I know that a lot of people, when they come up to speak, they speak based on their personality, and it actually affects the mood of the environment. So how can one manage this? Thank you.
John, do you know why while Barack Obama and Donald Trump videos were being played, I got a text message from Ms. Oniloye, and she said, my opinion, personality types cannot be divorced from how we speak. The world can't be all Obama or all Trump. That was one thing she said. So she, in fact, right there when I saw her message, I thought I was going to reference it later on, but your question has brought it out. The truth is that we all will never be the same. So our disposition and our responses to issues will never be the same. But here is the key thing. If we all do a proper audience analysis, our response should be such that regards the audience. Our response should always be one that also aligns with the culture of the context that we are in. Anytime you're preparing a speech, yes, your personality will take the front seat, will be on the front burner. However, moderate your personality with the context of the audience. There are times that you will have to come and do what we call code mixing. You speak to an audience and you will speak in your local dialect as much as you speak in English, even though it's a formal presentation, because of the quality of the audience. In some other places, you realize that many stories will help you. Some other places, you realize that you have to just be very stern in your outlook. And so it's about the dynamic ability of the speaker to know the audience, to know the culture that is acceptable towards that audience or by the organizer, and then to be able to say what is the appropriate thing they need. We disrespect the audience. We disrespect the audience. We disrespect the audience when we let our personality overrule their sensibilities. We just disrespect them. There are places you go, you don't ever have to crack a joke. You don't crack a joke there. Imagine you're going to pay a condolence visit to someone and the person maybe died out of some carelessness in the factory. Would you say, I know our factory people, sometimes they are very terrible. We are so sorry, you this family. We are so sorry, but they are very terrible. No, 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 no. That's not a moment to say such. Look at the sensitivities of the people, just like Oluwatomi said earlier on. Look at the sensitivity of the people. Look at the context. Look at the culture. Look at the audience. And let your personality be moderated towards it. Kobakaba, John. Kobakaba.
Well understood, sir.
No response. Okay. For people asking for mentoring, please, when you complete that form, let us know what you want. We will definitely respond to you. It's been very difficult hosting a physical session of public speaking. Again, my friends, it's not very easy to have a public speaking session like this. Hold and then people you can't get everything in one system, in one sitting. You're not going to get everything in one sitting. What you will do is, if you need a bit of hand holding, just please respond to that form. Dolapo is dropping it again in the chat. Respond to it. We will come to sort you out or help you. We will support you. That's the idea. So just before you go, I know you have to prepare for church tomorrow. Just before you go, I'm inviting you. I don't know if Mr. C.A.S.K.E Korede is still on this call.
Great job, Doc. Great job.
Yes. So look at the screen, Mr. C.A.S.K.E Korede. Look at the screen. So we are hosting Workplace Conversations 5.0. And this conversation, we've been having, the Workplace Survey Company has been hosting what we call the Workplace Conversation. This is going to be the 5th edition. One of the persons who spoke earlier today, Olaitan Oladimiji, was one of our panelists on Workplace Conversation 4.0. Mr. C.A.S.K.E Korede will be on the next Workplace Conversation 5.0. Again, Mr. John Mote was on one of these sessions, previous sessions. His wife, Mrs. Deborah Mote, was also on a previous session. So we've had many people who are here in this room who have graced the occasion. And so Dolapo will also drop in the chat the link to register for this event. We're inviting you to join us. This time around, we're going to be talking about career transitioning. All of the panelists you see on the screen have transitioned from one career to the other. Dr. Kunle Babaremo today is Director, International School of Ministry, Femi Lazarus Ministries. He was once an academic. He was once an academic. In fact, he was once a banker. He once worked at GT.co. I mean, how do you move from GT to academia? Today you are in ministry. Mr. C.A.S.K.E Korede today works in an FMCG, Integrated Dairies Limited, where Vanessa is from. He used to be a salesperson in a financial services company. And then he came into IDL as a salesperson for the FMCG company. Today, he's pivoted away from sales and has become the chief supply chain officer. How do you do those career transitions? How do you do it? Tolulope Obian used to work in financial services, in some other roles as sales. Today, she's head of core operations, group head of core operations at Team Apt, still working in fintech. Now, all of these people will be sitting with me on Saturday, July 26th, next week, Saturday, July 26th, 2025. Is July 26th a Saturday? Yes, it is. Next week, Saturday at 8 p.m. If you will register, we'll be able to send you a link to join us. It's always an exciting place. It's a safe place to speak. And I know in our subsequent editions, some of you on this call will be joining us. Already have secured the consent of Ms. Oyinloye. She's going to be joining us in one of the future conversations. And it's going to be a beautiful one. One more thing as well. Come August 23, 2025, I'm inviting you to a personal transformation seminar. This is a quarterly seminar that we hold. Again, all these events are free of charge. You don't have to pay a dime. And we give in as much of our strength. I mean, look at the quality of what we are sharing tonight. That's how much we go all out to ensure we support you. And so we're going to be speaking on the power of awareness, consciousness, the power of awareness for your personal success. August 23, 2025. We're asking you to please register so you can join us. There are many things you cannot possibly see or get from us. So I've asked Joshua, my team member, to drop in the chat my YouTube channel. I've got about 960 videos on YouTube. Joshua will also drop for you my website, muiwaoludayo.com. If you go on my website, you will have access to many things I cannot have time to talk about today. My YouTube channel has about 960 videos. My LinkedIn page has about 185 articles. But the website has everything. You can just go on the website. You have access to future events, current events, past events, and many other resources for your personal and professional development. Everything for free. Freely have we received. Freely are we given. All right. Having said that, let me introduce Nathan Lidgate to you. Our company is an organizational management practice. We are responsible for many people decisions, people analysis. We do organization design and development. We facilitate learning. We're very big on facilitating learning. We offer strategic consulting as well. And we're asking you to get to patronize us like this. Many people have patronized us. Mary Jane is on this call. Mary Jane, thank you. You have engaged us in time past, and we're hoping that we can begin to do work again for you. You are number one on our list there. If you look at the top left corner, Ma Moore still stands up there tall. And so we have, in the course of our journey, trained over 10,000 people. We have conducted over 2,000 plus personality tests. We have recruited. We also engage in recruitment. Afloat Limited is currently we're currently helping them to recruit staff. We have recruited over 500 employees for our clients. We have developed over 10 frameworks for our clients and the ones that we use openly. And then we have about 7 or more organizational diagnostic tools. If you go on our website, nathanleadgate.com, you will see some of the things that we have done. We have gone across Nigeria, and you can see we have not gone round a lot. We are seemingly looking like a local champion in the Southwest, but you can begin to export us across Nigeria and across Africa. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I'm very glad that I could do this. Against all odds, I've been able to share my thoughts with you. I hope it helped you. I hope it helped to refresh some of you here. I hope to reinforce some of the principles that some of you already know. I'm hoping that very soon, I'll see you on a great platform, delivering a speech that will not just wow the audience, but that will cause them to take actions that will make the society a better place for every one of us to live in. Having said that, good evening, and thank you for joining today. Have a good night rest.
Great job, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Good job.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you, Doctor. Thank you.